Hello everyone, today me and my groupmate are going to be explaining about the square quadratic function, and my member are Charlene and Lionel, and me. So first of all, we have the general form of a square function, where the formula is x equals x squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, c are constant, and a cannot be 0. Now let's explore some questions. So here I have an example. And here we have 2 points where the first point, the x value is 4 and the y value is -2. And the vertex point, the x value are 3 and the y value is -4. So for those who doesn't know what vertex is basically the point of the highest or lowest on a curved graph, like the tip of U-shape in a parabola. So this thing is called a parabola. And vertex point is this one, the yellow one. So here you can see axis of symmetry. So what is that? Axis symmetry is basically a line that divides this parabola into two mirror parts. Okay, now let's get back to our question. Okay, so here we have the vertex. So we can use the vertex formula, which is the y equals a x mean h squared plus k. So in this case, we need to find the a, okay, since we don't know the a. And the x is this one in the point. The h is the y value in the vertex point. The h is the x value in the vertex, and the k is the y value of the vertex. So now all we have to do is just to substitute them. -2 equals a, x is -4, -4 minus h is 3. Oh yes, sorry. 2 plus, sorry. This one is supposed to be 4. And the k is -4, yes. Okay, now 4 minus 3 is 1, square equals 1, so a times 1 is a plus -4. So basically -2 equals a -4. Now we can just simply transfer this -4 into the left side, which make them from negative into positive. So -2 plus 4 equals a, or we can say a equals to 2. So here we got our first point, okay? Okay, now since we know the a, we can use the vertex point, vertex form into the quadratic function, which is the one we have discussed earlier, the y equals x squared plus bx plus c. Okay, now we can write y equals a x minus h squared plus h. So y equals a was 2. Now in this case, since we'll be needing the x in the quadratic function, so we'll be leaving them. X minus h is 3 square -4. So since this is their square, so there's 2 times of this. Y equals 2x minus 3, x minus 3 minus 4. And then 2x is, we're counting them like this. X squared minus 3x twice, minus 3x minus, x squared, x minus 3 minus 9, and then plus 9, since -3 and -3 will become positive, right? So something like this, 2y. And then all we have to do is just to times this. This will become -6x times this and then times this, which then finally will left us with 2x squared minus 12x plus 18. Since 2 times 9 minus 4, 18 minus 4 is 14. So we just, sorry, 14. So here is the quadratic function from the vertex. Okay. So first example is basically done. And now we'll be going to our second example where what if we don't have the vertex? You can see there's no vertex, like there's nothing like in here. So wait, I'll get my this. Okay, so what if we don't know the vertex? First of all, we got x and y. And why do I say this is the x-intercept and this is the y-intercept? So as you can see here, the y point is 0, and in y-intercept, the x is 0. So we can assume that these two is going to be the x and y that we're gonna use. So since we don't know the vertex point, so we're gonna use the quadratic formula to find c. The vertex formula, the quadratic function formula was this one, the one in the beginning. Okay, so now we're gonna use the y-intercept, this one over here, this one. Okay, so the y is minus 2, the x is 0 in this case, 0, plus b, the x is 0 again, 0, plus c. So therefore, a times 0, b times 0 is going to be always be 0. So 0 plus 0 plus c, which then we'll get a point which is minus 2 equals c. Okay, so this is our first point, minus 2 equals c. Okay, now we're gonna use this one, the x-intercept one. Again, we're gonna use the y equals ax squared plus bx. So wait, I'll just rewrite the formula so it's easier for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. Bx plus c. So we're gonna use this one, the x1, okay? So the y here is 0, 0 equals to a x is 2, sorry, x is 2 square plus bx is 2, and the c was minus 2. Therefore, we'll get 2 square is 4. 4 times a is 4a. 4a plus 2 times b is 2b minus 2. Now we're gonna plus 2 in both sides. Plus 2 plus 2, which then we'll get 2 equals 4a plus 2b, and we're gonna divide them all by 2. So we'll get our second point, 1 equals to 2a plus b. Okay, so this is our second point. Okay, now lastly, we're gonna use this point over here. Wait, sorry. This point, the minus 1 is the x value and the y is 6. So we're gonna use that one. Wait, sorry. I forget to write this again. X squared plus bx minus 2. Okay. So for this one, the y is 6. The x is minus 1. Minus 1 squared plus b is unknown, and the c, wait, sorry, this one is supposed to be c minus 2. I forget since there is minus over here. Okay, and now a minus 1 squared is basically 1. b times, okay. So then we'll get 6 equals a minus b minus 2. Since we have minus 2 here, we're gonna add 2 in both sides, plus 2, plus 2. Therefore, we'll get 8 equals 8 minus b. This is going to be our third point. 8 equals a minus b. Oh, sorry. Horrible writing. A minus, oh, a minus b. Okay. Now that we have use of these 3 points, now we're gonna find the a and the b since we know the c. So now let's use a skill called elimination with between these two. Okay, 1 equals to a plus b, and third point, a equals a minus b. And if you guys notice something, if I add both of them, we have minus here and plus here, which then the b is going to be gone. 9 equals 3a, divide 3 by both sides, which then we got 3 equals a. Okay. Hey. So we got the a now, which is 3. Lastly, we'll be needing the b, which is pretty simple. And we're gonna use the 1 equals, yeah, we're gonna use the 1 equals to a plus b. I think that's better, this one. So 1, since it's smaller, 2, we just have to substitute them. 3 plus b, right? 1 equals 6 plus b. And we're gonna minus 6 on both sides. Minus 6 since we got a positive 6 here. Which then we'll got minus 5 equals to b. Okay, so basically that's the last point that we'll be needing. Equals b. Now, since we have got the a, b, c, all we have to do is just to simply substitute the number from the general form of square function, which is this one, the topic that we're focusing on. So y equals to ax 3, wait, the x 3x squared minus b is minus 5, yeah, of course, x, and then minus 2. So here is our final point.
So this is an oversimplified explanation of optimum value. So by this means is that the lowest vertex is the minimum value and the highest vertex is the maximum value. Meaning to say is that, yeah, the point is if you found a curve that is on the highest point or either lowest point too, it's either maximum for the highest or low for the minimum value. So the equation is the same as others. It's y equal ax power by 2 plus bx plus c. And the formula is x equal min b fraction by 2a. As to get the x coordination of optimum value, which can be plugged into y coordination, and that'll be the value itself. And here's also another explanation of x-intercept and y-intercept. Very simple. So meaning to say, if each graph crosses to y or x itself, for example, y-axis, when x is 0, we'll take this equation, for example, y equal to x plus 3 and x equals to 0. So y equals to 2 times 0 plus 3 equals 3. Thus, the y-intercept is 0.3. If graph crosses the x-axis when y is 0, example equation, 0 equals 3x means 6, 3x equals 6, x equal 2, thus the x-intercept is 2.0. So from the answer of y value is that it's 3 and the value of x is 2. So meaning to say it's 2 for x, 3 for y. That's a simple explanation for its equation, and that's for my part.
Okay, moving on to the direction of opening. The direction of opening is basically the direction of parabola. So to know whether it opens up or open downwards. And to know the direction of opening, we have to know these two important things. First, as mentioned here, if a is greater than 0, the parabola will open upwards like a smile. However, if a is smaller than 0, the parabola will open downwards like a frown. So as you can see here, I've prepared an example so we can solve it together. First of all, as you can see here, the a is not being mentioned, so we will just assume that a is 1 because 1 is easier to calculate. And then as mentioned here, b is, yes, negative 4. And then the second step to know to find the direction of opening is we have to know the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is basically a vertical line that divides the parabola. And the formula of axis of symmetry is negative b over 2a. And here, as you can see, the b is negative 4. So we will do it right here. Okay. Negative negative 4 over 2, and the a here is 1. So bracket 1. And this will lead to 4 over 2, and the final answer will be 2. So I'm gonna write here axis of symmetry will equals to 2. Moving on to the next step, there is to find the vertex. So the vertex on the left side of the vertex, which is the x, we will, by the way guys, we will write our equation like this: x comma y. So the x here is 2, so it's basically 2 comma y. And to find the y, we will have to use we will have to solve it like this. So y equals to 2 because the axis of symmetry is 2 squared minus 4 and bracket 2 minus 5, and we just solve it like this. So this would be 4 minus 8 minus 5. This will be negative 4 minus 5. The total will be negative 9. So the vertex will be negative 9. I'm going to write with another color: vertex equals negative 9. And the next step you have to find is vertex equals negative 9. Okay, the next number you have to find is the y-intercept. And the y-intercept occurs only when the x equals to 0, which means that we have to change all the x's mentioned here to 0. And to do that, we will do y equals 0 squared minus 4, 0 minus 5. And as you know, it's gonna be 0 minus, it's plus 0 minus 5. And it's gonna give us a total of negative 5. So therefore, our y-intercept will be 0.5. moving on to the x-intercept. It's basically the same as y-intercept. It only occurs when the y equals to 0. So we will change the y into 0, like so. The we have to find two numbers that multiplies to -5 and adds up to -4. So here it's 1 times -5. It will equals to -5, right? And here 1 plus -5 will equals to 4. Well, we gotta know that in order to solve this, we will have to use this 0x plus 1 and x minus 5. And how to solve this is that we want to solve it. It's x plus 1 equals 0, so we just minus 1 because it's plus 1 here, and it also has to be -1, so x will be -1. And for this side it's the same, it's just x minus 5 equals to 0, right? So we just plus 5 equals 5, so x equals to 5. There we will get our x intercept, and to write it, we will write it on the left side as x because it's x-intercept. Okay, we will write with another color, x-intercept. There's 2 for it, so it's -1 and comma 0 and 5 comma 0. Okay, that's basically everything we have to find. So we will save this information, and we will move to the next page. Here, oh, sorry. Here, as you can see, I've prepared a graph. So we will put the colors here. So axis of symmetry 2. Axis of symmetry is 2. So we will put the axis of symmetry as 2 right here. And next is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, -5, so it's right here. And then the x-intercept is -1, -1, 0, so it's -1, 0. And we have 5, 0, so it's here. By the way, for the 2 here, it's just let's just say an imaginary line, we can say, okay? So we will put another point. We need another point that is, this is 2 cubes away, so we need to put it right here, 2 cubes away, because axis of symmetry is always divided into 2 equal halves times 2, so it's a part of y-intercept. So here we can assume that it's 4, -5. There we go. And we can see here the total, the parabola will open upwards here, as we can draw the line. I'm sorry for the shaky hands. It's gonna be like this, right? Because just now our a is greater than 0. Our a was 1, so 1 is greater than 0, which will lead us to the parabola opens up upwards. Okay, so let's move on. Moving on to the discriminant of a quadratic equation. Here, as you can see, I've prepared 3 practice questions so that we can practice together. But first, I need y'all to see at this. Here is the full quadratic equation. However, the expression under the square root, which is b squared minus 4ac, is the so-called discriminant. So if the expression is bigger than 0, there is two real solutions. However, if it's equals to 0, there is only one real solution. However, if it's smaller than 0, then there is no real solution to do it. So let's move on to the practice questions. We'll first move to the number 1. Okay, here, same as just now, we'll find the A, the B, and the C. And there's also no A mentioned here. We will just put it as 1. The B will be -8, and the C will be 10. The formula just now, don't forget, it's always B squared minus 4AC. So we just put in the formula, we just put in the numbers into the expressions. So it's minus B squared minus 4A is 1 and C is 10. So it's basically 64 minus 40 equals to 24, right? And 24 is obviously greater than 0, meaning that these whole expressions have two real solutions. If y'all still don't get it, we'll move on to the next question. So here, B. It's almost the same as just now, but A is given here. So our A is -9, our B will be 6, and our C will be -1. Okay, here we go. The formula, please don't forget, it's B squared minus 4AC. And the first step, as I mentioned just now already, 6 squared minus 4, the A is -9, and the C is -1. So C squared would be 36, and for my -9, this would be 36, which is 0. So the answer is 0, and it's the same as 0. So as mentioned just now, there is one real solution. So this is one real solution. However, we have another example, which is for the no real solution. And yeah, as y'all can see here, what we have to do, because there's only A and B. Where's the C? How do you find the C? Here, I'll show you guys the equation that needs to be written in standard form, because it's not something that we can work with. First of all, because this is -7, we have to plus 7 to make it 0, meaning that here will also be plus 7. That will lead to 3x squared plus 7 plus 5 equals to 0, right? And we will work with this equation. So 3x squared plus 7x plus 5 equals to 0. And now we get the A equals to 3, B equals to 7, and C equals to 5. And we'll use the same formula as always, B squared minus 4AC. That's basically 7 squared minus 4. The A is 3 and the C is 5. So 7 squared is 49 minus 60. So the total will be -11, and it's smaller than 0. So there is no real solution here. Okay, that's basically it for our practice about the discriminant and the direction of opening. And here is a practice question that you can try to solve yourself after everything that we've discussed in this video. So thank you everyone.
And here we are going to reflect from the presentation of the math. So, let's go.
So for me personally, the progress of us making this video, I feel like I have developed my knowledge in square function, and also I hope you guys will understand from our videos. Yeah.
Same idea as Jaren. So through this activity, we actually learned our own topic, which is quadratic functions, and also it is such a pleasure to be helping our classmates and friends to understand about that topic as well.
And also for me, I hope I get the idea and the basic concept so that explanation just simplifies things. And that's it.
Thank you guys.
Bye.